I think there are probably three key growth trends happening around the world. The one is the growth in $10+ so that kind of 10 plus, and even actually 15, 20 plus. So the wine industry around the world is premiumizing, and for grape growers that means that actually the availability of kind of C grade grapes and above is going to be really important moving forward. I think that's the one thing. I think secondly, we have a huge cohort about to realize their potential in millennials, and they are very different to the previous cohorts that have come through the industry. They are looking for experiences, they're looking for something different, they want to discover, and so everything that we do, whether it be the brand, the look and feel, the way that we market, the wine that we put into the bottle, has to match what they're looking for. It's got to be different and unique, and it's got to be different from their parents and their grandparents. So I think that's the second biggest thing. And then I think the third biggest thing is something that Brett spoke to earlier in the conference, which is the blurring of lines between wine and the other alcohol industries. 10 years ago, we wouldn't have believed that actually one of the biggest innovations would be aging in rum or whiskey barrels, and yet wine is doing it, whiskey is doing it, and there's multiple industries, and so actually starting to blur those lines in order to, I suppose, support that discovery that millennials are wanting is going to be really important moving forward. So, I mean, we are actively working across all of those three excuse me, those three trends. I mean, if I take 19 Crimes as an example, it's it's an Australian country of origin brand, but it's very much steeped in the history of the country, and talks to some of the convicts as they arrived and the reasons why they were sent here, and there were 19 crimes, which is where the name of the brand came from. But within that, it's allowed us to look at the wine that we put in. We talk about red blends. What they're looking for is something sessionable, and we are just launching in the US at the moment something that has been aged in rum barrels. So that is a great example of taking, I suppose, all three of those trends and really capitalizing them, because that is a $15 bottle of wine. We talked about the fact that the industry is constantly changing, because actually the context in which it sits is constantly changing, and so the first thing I would say is you're running a business, but actually take some time out to understand what's happening outside of the growers. So speaking to people like Rabobank and understanding where the growth is, because that then allows you insight in terms of how you can best plan your business for the long term. So it's not necessarily about replanting a whole heap of new varietals, but I think it's about being consciously planned around the evolution that your business is going to take, so that it reflects what's happening, not only here in our domestic market, but beyond. Consumption is flat globally. And so actually, more and more and more as an industry, we are going to have to play to the ups and downs that we're seeing when you deep dive into those countries. And I think, for the growers to be flexible around what that means. So, is it that you take a chance and go after an opportunity to plant, some more Pinot Gris, because that actually the taste profile of the new generation of wine consumers is actually changing, and so that is an opportunity moving forward. It's all about being flexible, but doing it in a planned way, using the resources that you've got around you that allows you to really realize the opportunity that's available. So I am a Pinot Noir fan, and I opened a bottle of Black Grape Society from Central Otago this week. But if I'm not drinking that, I love a Pinot Noir from Tassie.